Hi all, welcome and welcome to Daily Report. So today I will specifically talk about what we are seeing in the market. Um, Market is pretty much red today. Not all across the board, but majority of the indexes are down. Majority of the stocks are down. So I did some research. I started looking into it, and there are like four major reasons I can tell you guys why market is down today. So the first one is right now there's a war going on which is expanding. Boots on the ground in Lebanon, and you have fear of strike from Iran, so war spilling a little bit more. So that is definitely a very big concern already, which is spooking majority of the investors out there. And this news kind of is very hot right now, and from last couple of days, I have been looking into it, and I think we were gonna see the impact. Today it started happening. I don't know how long will it go. We just need to keep an eye on it. When kind of it slows down, and hopefully it gets resolved, doesn't expand, things like that. So that is reason number one why we are seeing uh, red today. Second reason is this little news, which some of you may already are aware of, but there is apparently a strike, a union strike across all the ports in United States, and which is impacting around $4 billion daily. Um, you know, and right now there's no way to know when it's gonna end, right? Lot of stocks in logistics sector, in many other sectors are down because of this particular strike. So this is reason number second why I'm seeing the red day today. The third reason is, if you guys remember, like from last week, I kind of mentioned about this, that um, manufacturing PMI, the numbers are going to come out. So today they are out. So we are seeing it again contracted. Um so the numbers again contracted, which is kind of in line where we are at right now. The election cycle, overall inflation is kind of high, even though interest rates are starting to go down. But right now we are still seeing it's in that contraction mode. So this is another reason why we are seeing a lot of red today. So this just came in the morning at like I believe 10 o'clock Eastern time, somewhere around that. So the fourth reason is kind of around estimation. It's around the data, which is outlier data. So we have been seeing from, so last week I started talking about like Thursday, Friday, if you have paid attention to this thing, that we are seeing in market breadth pretty much all across the board. A lot of companies are reaching at that turning point where we have seen a recent run up from last few weeks. A lot of stocks were going in uptrend, lesser in downtrend, but that trend is about to take a turn. And a lot of these factors definitely added in, the one I mentioned. But this is kind of very strong indicator. And whenever we reach this level of percentage within this market breadth data, I try to get very careful. Think about it. There's a saying, sell in the strength, means if you're trading, if you're buying low, it's better to get out when there's a strength in the market, because when it start losing steam, you'll probably make money, but you may also lose money in that scenario. Second is, buy when everybody is fearful, sell when everybody is greedy. So again, how do you measure that? uh, I simply do that by looking at outlier data. You have market breadth data, you have individual data on sectors, indexes, stocks. So that really helps me. So these are the four factors why kind of I was, paying very close attention from last few days, and looks like the market decided to respond more today. So I hope you guys are out, um, or you have very less exposure right now to the market if you were long. So let's move on to the second part, which is like, are there any opportunities today, right? So again, um, I have gone over a little bit about what broader market is doing, where market sectors are. So let's look into some of the opportunities. Are there any opportunities? So again, the way I am thinking right now, whenever I look into these external factors, right? So you have war going on, which is unfortunate, but whenever these kind of events happen, you have defense stocks that come to my attention. And right now, if you are looking into opportunities, especially from the trading perspective, then you can look into few stocks like your Lockheed Martin, which is already in uptrend. So let's look into it. So I pulled Lockheed Martin here in our dashboard. First thing I noticed, that stock is in uptrend. It's a green, it's an uptrend, which is good. Now I look into what is the daily fear or greed score is. So right now the greed score is around G13, right? Which is high, yet it's not extreme, because extreme would be like closer to G50, which is like the extreme greed. That is the time I would avoid getting into it. But right now it's still at that point where there's a room to run. And when I look at the oscillator, uh, it started to change direction, and it's headed upwards. So which gives me a little bit warm and fuzzy that stock is, there's still room left for run. Even when I look into some of the EMAs, and I clearly see that it's going, still going up, still going strong. And think from, let's take a step back. Whenever we are looking into these defense stocks, right? You have to consider this geopolitical events as well. Uh, Whenever a new thing happen in war, like for example, it just spilled over to Lebanon, it's not gonna be over within a day. I mean, as much as we wish, right, that it doesn't even get started, but the reality is that it's not gonna get over, because one party is going to do something, the other party going to respond, and this first party is going to do something again. So it's a back and forth. That's how the wars are. And in my opinion, it's not going to stop. It's going to like still spill over. So and that is one of my thought processes when you are looking into that and trading. So I don't think it's going to turn around anytime soon. Like, I'm talking about the stock here. So you may be looking at some opportunity in, Lockheed Martin. I pulled Northrop stock here. Same story. We have even a buy signal here for Northrop. Heat map, when I look into it right now, it's G6. So which gives me, again, from the stock perspective, a little warm and fuzzy that there's still room for it to go up. It's an uptrend. Same thing when I go and check um, NOC here. So the same story with this stock as well. It's kind of an uptrend right now. So I don't see any order blocks that's gonna uh, you know stop the momentum for now. That's one. Second, because of some of the geopolitical shift that is happening with recent China rate cut, and I have been talking about Chinese stocks from pretty much last week. Whether you're late, whether you're early to the party. Baidu is one of the stock which has been in this kind of downtrend and sideways from, I guess, years now, from years. And there weren't many opportunities at that point of time, because when you look into China, you need to have government's blessings. I mean, without that, doesn't matter companies doing well, companies making I mean, this is again one of those hard reality that we know it is there. Unless the government over there blesses it, the market's probably not going to move by a lot. So right now they decided to bless the market. Rate cuts are happening. you know Pretty much all the Chinese stocks are kind of going up. Alibaba went up from, like, I remember, like a few months ago, it was hovering around $80. Right now it's closer to 110 plus. Same thing with Baidu. If you see right now, the good news is on our dashboard, it's not in downtrend, it's not in the red overlay. It's out of that, it's in neutral zone. The oscillator is kind of going up. So, from the opportunity perspective, looking at our data and looking at what some of these geopolitical, things are happening in Chinese stock market, in my opinion, again, it's kind of supporting this particular stock plus many more. But I started looking into this, so decided to share my thoughts on Baidu. So that so those are three stocks that I wanted to talk today. Just to recap, I talked about why markets are red today. Essentially four main reasons which I covered. Then I talked about some of these stocks, where I'm seeing some growth, some run up in near future. And if I am looking into getting back in market again for other sector, other stocks, what I will do is I will wait around. I will not be in a hurry. Why? Because right now the market breadth, it's kind of turning around from top, and we may see a correction. We may see a correction happening, which is probably in already happening right now. And once it comes back down, and when it start to change direction, because these are the times which are my favorite time, when it turns up, when number of stocks in downtrend start going down, number of stocks in uptrend go up. Those are the favorite time when I kind of start looking into stocks, because that, in my opinion, it increases the probability of win. So right now, if I'm planning to go long in other stocks, I'll probably stay away. But there are still some opportunities in the market if you are really looking into it based off of some of these geopolitical events. So that's pretty much it from my side today. So if you guys have not yet subscribed to Outlier data, I think you should, because we have some of the data which is not available anywhere else, and it really really helps you uh, getting focused on how market is moving, which direction it's going, when that change is happening, which is extremely extremely important. So right now we have it's available for just $329 a year. So you can go to outlier.com pricing, OVTLYR.com pricing, and can access this page, click on this button, and um, reserve your annual pass for just 329 bucks. So that's all for today. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Okay.